They messed me up. Okay, live chat on top. I think the live chat's up. All right, whoever comes in, welcome to the channel. Share it out, like, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. I never just say subscribe, do I? We just chatting today, chin wagging. I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes or so. Uh, Let some folks come in. It's about 5:30, so about 5 Arizona time. So 5. I hope I said 5:30. I think I said 5:30, y'all. Tanya, what's up, baby? Can you can you hear me okay? Happy Memorial Day weekend. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm gonna take these off because you hold on. Well, it depends. Okay, that girl, I still hate the progressive. How are you, work? Girl, a whole bunch going on. How you doing? How you doing? Okay. Um. So, well, we got a lot of things going on. Um. Okay. Same to you. Okay. Happy Memorial Day weekend. You barbecuing? What you cooking? Look, what you cooking? We're gonna talk about food in a minute. Um. So work. I'm still at the same company. I was looking at possibly leaving. So the core of what I do, I like the job itself because I'm analytical and I do claims for a major insurance company, right? And I find the job itself interesting. I'm in what they call an express group, which means that we got to process the calls very fast. The first lady I had was annoying, irritating, and actually it made me want to actually leave the company because everything that she was showing us to do was very much, in my sense, opposite of what they had trained us. So when I came out, it was just, do all this stuff to shave, how you handle the call. And some of the shaving she told us to do did not line up with what we were taught, but it didn't sit right with my spirit because I'm a person that I'm going to try to help you if I can help you. Um, and that was what we were told through the training process as well as through the bridge process. But then when I get to this lady, I got this annoying chick. Um, I don't know. I know some people say, well, did you think it was racism? I don't know. It could be all of the above. And for whatever reason, I was her focus. I don't know if my little fat chocolate chip old behind bothered her. I do have a level of certain intelligence. I ain't gonna say I'm the smartest kid on the block, but I'm not a fool. And I also have a long work history. Again, I've been very blessed. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just being factual. I've been very blessed, and I realize that God set me up. He set me up for he knows the end from the beginning. So he knew what the outcome of my life was going to be based on what I came from. And how I even, and me and my best friend have talked about it because I walked into jobs that high school students don't walk into. The doors were open to me based on my situation that normally don't happen. I was not an A+ student. I had too many things going on in a very dysfunctional household. So I was a C student. I was like a C/D student, but mainly C average student. And it wasn't that I wasn't intelligent. It was that there were so many demands on my childhood that my mother placed with the rearing of my brothers, two little boys who I did their umbilical card, their circumcision, taught them to walk, um, taught them. I potty trained them. I was there during the measles, the mumps, broken legs. I mean, there's a whole bunch. The alarm go off to know when to sign in. So later, when I hit high school and a lot of other things were happening, God just really blessed me with a program, and that program set forth my corporate career. So I've been trained, maybe not initially with a college education, but I did college and other courses through companies that sent me to be trained for a lot of different stuff. Um, Quite a bit of it was managerial, business skills, a whole bunch of stuff. And blessed, just blessed. So I don't know. Sometimes when people pick up on that, people pick up on that. and it comes from something like this, either that's intimidating or you're told to try to, you know, that's how they are. I don't know. Or, if especially if you're not big on this, I don't know. Do I know if that was her issue? I don't know. She could have just been weird. I don't know. I know she was annoying. I know she was irritating, and I know I didn't agree with her. Do I think she's a bad person? I don't necessarily think she's a bad person. I think a lot of people who they become are just products of whatever jacked up environment they're from. I got very type A. Um, and I do know that there was another young lady who was part of my group that came out that was not like me, but I don't know all the dynamics, but I know she did not stay. And I could tell, at least in some of the video, at least what I sensed in some of our video interactions. I don't even think I ever met her in office, because I don't even think she lasted in office to even make it to in office when we came out of training to go into office. I think she bounced. I don't know if they fired her or she quit, but I know that she was gone within a relative amount of time. Um, I'm under a new supervisor who came from a different area, but she's what I call lineage of the company. So this company, old Motorola used to do this. They had a lot of family or friends that knew people, and family and family and family, and they had generations of people. This company is kind of the same way, and I call it lineage. So her family, she's got the lady who's over us now, has lineage there. So her mother and her father were and possibly are employees of this company. So now her, the lady who's my supervisor now, her and her husband are both part of this company that I'm with now. I Here's my initial assessment of her: highly intelligent, which I like. I like intelligent. I don't know her last name. When I saw her last name, my fat butt, I started thinking of food, because her last name right off the bat sounded like Indian, like from India. But it could be Middle Eastern, but I think it's Indian from India. And my first thing was, I like Indian food when I saw her name. And that's not any shade. That's just her name was from India, and I like Indian food. And I think that people from India, they're very attractive to me. I think the men and women are very, there's a prettiness about them. There's a very attractive look they have. And so, and I'm not talking about her look in general, but she might be from India. I don't know, because she's married, so it could be her husband. Indian food is good. Girl, come on, say it now. And, but what I get from her is very intelligent. We had our first one-on-one, and I like her background because she has a healthcare background, and I was recruited into healthcare by someone who knew me, who was in HR. So I was working for University of Phoenix, an associate that I had worked with at another company. Her sister had met me at a gathering, and which we just had a very good rapport. And she's like contacted me and say, "Hey, I'm looking for people for this particular healthcare company that's moving out here to Arizona." And they were doing DME. So I broke into healthcare through what's called durable medical equipment. And the company was actually owned by Bush. And what was Bush's? Child, I can't even think of Bush's running mate. But anyway, Bush and whoever else, him and dude had a company, and it was a DME company. And so I was recruited to that company by that lady. And I worked there only for 6 months, really because A, it was really far away. B, I thought they were going to do some work from home and being able to not travel as far, because I was traveling like a distance. And so then I put in for United Healthcare and Aetna, and I actually got both. And then I ultimately ended up at Aetna under the Affordable Care Act, and we were supposed to be treated. But this lady has a detailed background in healthcare, and she has a bachelor's and master's in healthcare. So that was good to know. She came from the injury division of this particular company I work for. And like I said, my first interaction with her was highly intelligent. Um, I didn't feel like I was dealing with schizophrenic bipolar land like that other chick. And again, I'm not trying to be mean about the other chick. That was my initial assessment. The way she came across was weird. And it was, snapping fingers and doing this. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Her behavior of that other chick was It was just, you're on my nerves, and you're weird. It was her management. I'm like, who manages like this? And where did you get your training? I had never seen nothing like that, and I'm really trying to figure out what's going on. I don't even know what kind of mom you are. I'm curious. What kind of mother are you? Because man, your kids must be jacked. Because there's a way to teach, to train, to speak, and especially in a corporate environment, there's things you do. She was, I was like, woo, baby, you need to go sit down somewhere and relax. And we need to get you some Redland or whatever it is the hell you need. We need to get that for you because there's something wrong. This lady is a little more quiet, but at the same time, she's studying for her insurance licensure because her position there didn't require it. But now that she's in the position of manager, they're going to require her to have it. So she's studying that, which I think is why she's a little more distanced. But I like her communication style. Um, Even when she corrects, like she wants to um, either correct and or she wants to address something. I like the way she does it. It's not as offensive as the other chick. Instead, she may do it openly, but she'll do it in such a way you can pick it up off the plate and say, okay, let me question you. Is that anything to do with me? And if it does, let me know. Because she'll do it as a general and then she addresses it overall. So I like that. And I also like, to me, it seems like she's bridging back more to what we were trained, opposed to this, you know, even some of the things that we were told to do. Like I was told to go ahead and just blind transfer stuff. Well, you don't need to announce it. We don't we don't do charity for other departments. Just transfer that over to them. And the schizophrenic chick. This lady's like, no, no, we're gonna announce the call. We're gonna announce that call. And because she came from the department that we would be one of the groups that we transferred to. And I shared with her very openly right there in the group. And other people are like, they trying to be quiet, but it sounded like this was some of what they were told to do too. And order was all about numbers. So and I like the way she said it, while we're supposed to be productive, there's a measure of quality. The other lady didn't care about quality. She was a numbers person. I got what she was that person that went in a room and everybody rah-rahed her about her numbers, and that she didn't, because there's a way to develop people and still go in a room and have a phenomenal team. And there's a way to and that's about developing them. You mean you care about your people. But there's also a management that's just about themselves. And then everybody underneath them is just the horse they ride. And that's where I felt with the prior lady. This lady, I feel, is lining up more with what I saw initially with this company. Now, I could be wrong. Because again, I've only interacted with her a little bit. And right now her focus is on her studies. We will probably see the truth. We'll probably see the truth more of who she is once she gets her training completed. But for now, I have liked her interaction. Um, Initially, one-on-one, she asked you where you want to go with the company. I have always been the kind of person that when I go to a company, they kind of I do my job and then they say, hey, you have a skill set that might be over here. Now, she mentioned injury, which is where she came from. I don't know if that's where I want to go. Maybe because I did mention I also had a healthcare background. Again, I don't know if that's where I want to go. I was really looking at their quality group because quality is something that I like the quality piece. I like that customer service piece, but then I don't know because their quality is weird. I think they more so look at just the written information opposed to both the written and conversation on how people communicate. Um, that's it. And then I met another supervisor dude. I liked him. He was funny. We had a good conversation. I sat in front of him when I went into office. So the job is somewhat better. I have another friend of mine who's trying to get me to come to her insurance company. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to do that because I'm trying to give these people the benefit of the doubt. Two of my Christian friends said, hang in there. And now that we've gotten past schizophrenic bipolar lady, I may do so. I have to see. I'll have to see where God directs it. But right now, I think I'm sitting where I'm at. If God so sees fit. I've got to talk to She did give me the information on to contact, I guess, what they call the ADA, which is about disability issues. So as some of you guys know, I'm a diabetic, but also my knee has been really funky. So I know some people are like, oh, we miss you in trucking. I don't see myself going back into transportation at all, if ever. And even if I end up having a knee surgery, I'm just done. Overall, mentally, emotionally, I'm good. And then physically, it's also talking. So my left knee is really, really jacked up. I have a pain that shoots on the outside left of that knee. I have to kind of angle my leg inward, kind of towards the other leg when I'm walking on the left. Walking normally with that leg is a shooting pain that is obnoxious. I have to wear certain shoes with this knee, and then so that means I got to deal with the weight. Talk about that in a minute. So I did end up going to my doctor's office. My old doctor, she retired, and I'm still depressed about this. I hadn't been to the doctor in a while, but I decided to go. So, especially because of the knee issue, but we had an in-office work week. Was it last week? Last week. And, the week before last. Week before last. And when I went in office on Monday, the way it's set up, we're in one building and you can park on 2 levels. And it'll put you there's an elevator on both levels. Takes you upstairs inside the building, and then you just walk around the corner and go to the elevator that takes you up, or stairs if you want to. I'm not doing no stairs right now because I can't. And the stairs that will take you up to whatever floor you're on. This building, I've heard, like 16, 17, 18 floors. It's just, here in Arizona, a pretty tall building. And I was on the 7th floor. Well, the issue is that most people some people start their day around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I am what they call the closing shift. So I'm an afternoon, evening person. My shift starts at 10:30. So by the time I get to the building to park and everything, all parking close to the elevator is taken. Okay. So at this point, and I do now, I did not have a handicap placard, but even with a handicap placard, all freaking parking is taken. Everything that's handicapped near the door. Now they got 8,000 freaking reserve spots, which I'm going to talk to the ADA about because, we got to do something. So I then have to park on a different floor, and I end up parking near this other business, and I walk through there, and I have to walk across the parking lot. And again, I just told you my knee's bad. Well, initially I was doing this before. It's not new. But I would stop because they had benches outside, and I would stop, sit down for a minute, massage the knee, get back up, and then head the rest of the way across the. And it's not a far walk, but for my situation, it's a far walk. Walk across the parking lot, get to the other bench, sit for a minute, massage the knee, and then go in the building. Head upstairs, and then get at my desk, massage the knee, and then do my job. Well, this past working office, I don't know what the hell they did. The benches were all gone. So that was one thing. I had to park, I think, in a different floor. I had to go through the drama of that. Then I have to walk back to my car, move it with the prayers that they don't boot it, because I'm not supposed to be parked in visitor. But I couldn't park anywhere close enough to where I'm supposed to enter, which would have been even worse. So I ended up, by the time I got done with Monday, I got home, my knee was on squeak mode. It was like, ee! It was hollering. my knee was like, I'm done. I'm so done. When I woke up in the morning, actually woke up in the morning, when I woke up just to go to the bathroom throughout the night, I can't even describe the pain. And I had to hold the wall and scoot my leg to get to the toilet. And so I knew for 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, I was not going in office. I said, look, I can work from home, but my knee is shot right now. It's got to bounce back. So I started doing my tart cherry. I'm 3 weeks. That's another reason I don't really want to leave them. 3 weeks of the month I'm work from home. I only have to go in the office 1 time a month. That is a blessing. I tell you what, I love working from home. In general, I love it. Love it. Love it. I'm somewhat of an introvert. So, and I'm somewhat of a loner. And I'm going to say all the time, because you guys know I have select people that I hang out with. But for the most part, I am somewhat of a loner. That's something me and Monty had a lot in common. Um, that's our trust factor too. But my knee was screaming. And so I told her, and so she told me about this ADA. I need to call them. I don't know, call them maybe Tuesday. I was going to do it Friday, just by the time I got out, I was so worn out. This last week and a half of claims, folks, was just extra special. And that's the only thing, another thing I don't like about them. They do not have an escalation gate, and their escalations, when you get them, they're hellish. Um, because you really don't have, based on the weirdness of how they want you to handle it, because there's some parts where you should just be, sir, ma'am, you're going to have to wait. This is the third time I told you this call is going to end. I have a problem when you're sitting in a seat of abuse in a company. That's one of the things I loved about Chase. We had three sayings. We would talk to you, you listen once, we go again, we go nice the third time, and when we come to that third time of telling you, we're going to tell you, I'm here for your service, not for your abuse. This call is about to end. And I'd have to say that only three times. And on that third time, I ended that call. Here, they don't ever want you hanging up on their people, but they don't have a good escalation system in play. The team managers, oh, we'll call them back in 48 hours. Well, that means I got to hear this crazy person pissed off because they want to talk to you right then and there. Granted, we got a society that they want it their way. But all a person needs to hear is supervisor. You just make a bunch of reps. Floor supervisors, I manage them. And, I'm a floor supervisor here. How can I help you? A lot of times people hear the supervisor and they just calm the hell down. And then that's what they really need. They need an escalation gate that deals with escalations. I have zero desire to ever work in escalations anymore because it burns you out. I'm too old. So, but young people, they like to argue and go through that madness. Some people get off on that. Some people enjoy that level of stress. I'm not the one. So for me now, I do what I call becoming numb. If you don't care, I don't care. So the company don't really care about the escalated situation. I'm like, oh, okay, sir, yeah. You don't really care. And I don't want to say, but not really, because if you don't care, why should I? Why, if y'all don't care about this person being pissed off, then why should I? I'm not going to sit here and be stressed because you don't care. I'm not going to be stressed. So I'm going to try to help you the best, but some people, some situations need to be escalated. It's not within my power to change things, or whatever I'm telling them they're not going to hear. And there's a point to where either A, I need to be able to escalate, or B, I need to be able to release. I need to be able to tell them three times and then do this. Especially in our society today, because we got so many people who are so entitled, and they feel entitled to what they want and how they want it, and they're entitled. I had a couple, they're trying to fix the car, and, well, we didn't give you permission to move our car. This is escalated because you want us to fix the car, and the place you took it before wasn't fixing it. That was associated with us, right? Right. So you have a team manager working, trying to get your vehicle taken care of. What the hell complaint? Because I want it the way I want it. I want it the way I want it. So, drama. So yeah, I do believe that that's my only, right now, I know the escalation thing, the way that's handled is horrible. But as far as the benefits of the company, like I got something from them for the weight loss surgery, I think it is. They have something called Surgery Plus. And I think if I want to get the bariatric surgery, they help with the cost, at least through that. So their benefits packet, which I knew coming in the door, I'm like, their benefits packet is amazing. There's a lot of things about them that I like. Coming in the door, they reminded me so much of a Chase and of a Charles Schwab. Those are the top two best companies I've ever worked for. Not knocking, I've worked for some pretty decent companies, but man, those two were just better. I'm right now in talking about the health thing. When I went in to talk to the new guy, I ended up, so they don't have a doctor in office yet. They're going to have a DO coming in, I think they said July, August. So right now, the people running the office in which my doctor and the other doctor retired from is a nurse practitioner and a PA. So the first time I met the PA, young dude, young Spanish dude, I think he's gay boy. Funny, but I loved him. He was a sweetheart. and very much we vibed. Let me put it like that, because when I walk in, I got a certain personality. If y'all haven't already told, some people can pick it up right away. I got the sarcastic side, and he was right. He was right there with me. I'm like, oh, we gonna get along great. And young Latino PA, and he was in it preppy, and I was like, oh, I like your look, because I was a preppy in high school when I wasn't this fat. And so I like preppy. I love button down shirts. Back then, I know some of y'all don't even know, the kids don't know what that is, but I like a button down shirt. I always wear like the pleated pants. That was my thing, and the Oxford shoes. That was my look back in high school. I still like that. To me, that is just, I really love that look today. So when he came in the office, he was I was like, look at you all preppied out, and he's like, I knew Miss Lewis was coming, so honey, I had to do this. I was It was hilarious. And I was like, okay, we're going. This is my first time ever meeting him, and we just clicked. And he was really very almost thorough, like my doctor. I'm not always a fan of PAs because they aren't doctors, but he listened, and actually, I think that boy sat in that room for me about 40 some plus minutes, talking about everything. He went through my entire chart. We talked about the weight loss surgery, and he said, "Wait a minute." He says, Do you really look? Do you really want to do the surgery? What about Ozempic or Wegovy?" And I said, "I got to research that because I've heard about it, but I want to know. I'm a person who want to know side effects." He's like, "Well, the weight loss surgery has some big side effects," which is my friend Regina and another friend of mine, Victoria. They both had it, and Victoria had every possible side effect that's possible. And both of them have brought back a little bit of the weight. Vicky also had it, my play niece. She brought back a little bit of the weight. I know my brother had it. He gained some, I think, when I saw him in COVID, and when I saw his picture in COVID, but then I think he lost it again. And I know other people who eat around the surgery. So I get what he's saying. So he's talking Wegovy or Ozempic as possible other options. He said it'll get you down to something you're comfortable with and more manageable to get the rest off. So I'm praying on that, and I'm researching that. So I'm looking, if anybody knows about Ozempic, put the comments below, let me know. Wegovy, I don't know as much about. I think they both are supposed to hand in hand. Ozempic's the more popular one that I know of. I am a diabetic, so he said that also would play a huge role. But my diabetes is very well managed, as fat as I am. And that's one of the things he did say. Then he tried to put me on something which I didn't know after I left the office. He called in a statin. I don't have high cholesterol. Zero high cholesterol. Fat as I am, y'all, I don't have high cholesterol. And Linda, who can hula but Cheerio, she got high cholesterol. So I'm like, why? And he's like, well, it's a heart protection, or hey, I don't need. I'm on a blood thinner, bruh. I'm not normally gonna form a clot unless my blood thinner is not where it's supposed to be. And a lot of people don't know your arteries could clog, I guess. But if I'm not have high cholesterol, why are we messing with this? So I don't like to take a lot of drugs. I already take 5 pills for the first part of the day, and then 2 more at night. So I have problems introducing stuff that's unnecessary to me. So I haven't even picked up the drug, and it's free. But I'm like, why are you putting me on a statin? That's not anything that's ever been discussed. So I'm praying on that. Um, but yeah, other than that, that's work. Um, so work's not bad. What else did you ask me on here? School's good. So school is really good. I'm actually finishing up a class tonight, which is ministerial communications. Finishing that up, loving it. When we get done with this, I gotta, for my little side ministry I do, I gotta upload a video. We're going through, we're doing the Matthew Bible study called Life Changes. And I've been a little procrastination because I've had so much going on. I had to learn for the new job. I was trying to get settled in the new job. I'm getting ready to get the apartment with some stuff I gotta take care of with it. I am working in the garden. Oh, yeah, let me show you. I haven't opened it yet. This is the raised bed. Y'all, this is the raised bed. Now, I got a string on here. That's the raised bed. Okay. Now I haven't even opened it, but I got a question. This box, y'all see how small this box is? This box is not a big box. It's supposed to be a bed that is 4 foot long, 2 inches wide, and I think a foot tall. Which isn't a very long bed. I'm 5'2", 5'3", so I'm estimating it'll probably be up to my shoulder area. Um, but I'm looking at this box and it's supposed to have some curved pieces. I'm like, well, where the hell the curved pieces at? Because it's just a big square box, or a little square box, because it's not very big. But I had to put that together. So tomorrow I might be out there trying to put that together. I haven't decided. I finally got to Home Depot today. I was supposed to go yesterday, but then I ended up with Linda, and me and Linda went to. So I got us. I'm gonna get our. We're gonna get the membership for Costco again, because I used to be with somebody else, but she became nerve-wracking. So I was like, let's cut it. So me and Linda are gonna go in on Costco together, and I already went in for Sam's Club. So I joined through Groupon, and Linda and I, we joined through Groupon, and we went to Sam's Club. So I joined through Groupon, and then I just added her on, and then I'll get our Costco membership here. If not this pay period, maybe the next one. But I took her because you tell Linda something, her memory ain't long. That baby. I'm like, bruh, you don't be listening. Well, I thought you said Costco. Bruh, I said I would gotten Sam's Club. I put your email. You should have a link and instructions. Alarm is irritating. I should have not put it on there. I said you should have a link and some instructions. She don't be listening. So lo and behold, she ain't listening. So I said, look, you want to go up there so you can get your card? Hey, Wendy. Okay, we ain't talking nothing about just job stuff. Um, how's your car? I love teaming with Warehousement. Yeah, because you get an extra membership, so I put it on there. And so this year I'm not charging or anything because Linda was one of the people that helped me out when I was in between the job financially. So, and she hasn't pressed me on anything, just let me gradually get the payoff done. So I was like, this year, let me cover this, and then next year we'll split it. So I took her yesterday up to Sam's Club. Then afterwards, she's looking for ice cream for her daughter, and I'll answer the other question here in a minute. And Wendy, how you doing? I took her up to Sam's Club. She got her card. We walked around. She just wanted TP. And then she got some chips. And then I got up in there, and I'm not a huge sugar person, but every so often, if I see something look good, I grab it. So if I do like sugar. Hey, PJ, no, haven't seen you in a minute, baby. What's going on? How's the weather in Missouri? I think it's Missouri. How's the weather in Missouri? Wendy, how's the weather in Denver? Denver probably much cooler. Um, how's the weather in Missouri? And then Tanya, hold on. Tanya, Maryland? Tanya, Maryland. I think you're Maryland. Let me know. Tanya, I think you're Maryland. I could be wrong. Is in Maryland? Who's in Texas? Somebody in Texas too. Y'all don't even know. Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. She says 78 degrees. Don't even talk to me. I walked out the house today. As soon as I hit the door, I was like, well, damn. I'm sorry. God forgive me. I walked out. I was like, oh my God, I should have got up earlier. It was hot. It was hot as hell. My uncle used to say, he was a pastor. He said, y'all want to know what hell is like? Welcome to Arizona. Welcome to Arizona in the summer. I am not mad at him. Y'all, I'm ashy on my lips. Y'all see that? I just realized I'm ashy on my lips. Hold on. I hope I got y'all, I got this bag over here, but I hope I didn't take my chapstick out. And I might have. And I think I did. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Did I take the chapstick out? I think I did. Y'all, I think I took the chapstick out. I think it's over there at the desk. I'm probably it's at the desk. I'm pretty sure that's where I put it. I put it at the desk. I had the bag over at the desk, and I'm pretty sure I took the chapstick out, which it feels like I did. I'll deal with it later. Anyway, Yeah, Arizona, I think we had a hit of 100 today. It was hot as hell. I'll get to Home Depot in a minute. PJ, I haven't even started it yet, and they're on the door. The family, I got a new family of lizards, and they're all on the door. If I leave out at night and I come back to the house, they're on the door. I was like, and I talk to them. Linda be rolling because if she on the phone with me, she like, you talking to your friends? Yes, they on the back door, little ninjas. I was like, yeah, they on the back door, little ninjas. They on my back door. Oh, they irritate me as hell. I don't even mind. I'm pretty sure I did what I think I did. But they be on the back door. They horrible. Oh no, not at all. As a kid, I used to catch lizards. They actually, the ones out here, little geckos and stuff. You can catch them. Just you can't catch them by the tail because the tail will break off. They'll break away from your tail. But if you catch them underneath, they soft little belly. I used to catch lizards as a kid. Not a big deal. They're not like poisonous or anything. And our lizards are little. They're like this. They just they just ate up my lettuce, and I still ain't got over that yet. Still. And then the other thing I fought last year was tomato hornworms, and those things are just they're horrible. So I'm trying to do the raised garden bed. I gotta take boxes out there, layer, because some of the plants are coming back up, and that whatever that is, that whoever was here before me, I think it was a woman. Those flowers she planted are like obnoxious weeds. So I'm gonna put yeah, they fun. See, Wendy. And they were like little fun. I didn't keep them as pets, but they were like fun to catch. But then I was a big tomboy. But as we used to catch them, and they have really soft underbelly. And yeah, I never did the ones they had the kind of like the prickly side. These are just long. You said I'm scared of everything. That's funny. No, my lizards just be irritating me because they eat up when I start my garden. Now I did buy some plants today. So I got rosemary, I got a mammoth jalapeno plant, and I got sweet mint. Yeah, Florida's gonna be different though. You kind of got you better than me. Florida, I might not mess with their lizards because you got some stuff out there that's different. Y'all got lizards, y'all got specialty snakes. Granted, we have rattlers here. Not normally in the city though. Most of the rattlesnakes are gonna be in your outer mountains area. When I was living in Maricopa, I had my house in Maricopa, you could see those snakes going across. And I was like, I'm good. Because I really had never seen here in Arizona. I've never seen snakes up until I lived in Maricopa. I didn't even know we had skunks until I lived in Maricopa. I'm trying to think. I knew we had prairie dogs. Mice, obviously. I'd never seen, we have rats too. We have something called roof rats. And I actually had, when I had Hillary, we were living in an apartment in downtown Phoenix. It was the first time I had ever seen a roof rat. And those things are huge. They're a rat, and then they have this long tail. And it was the first time I had seen that. And they're really, where I lived at used to be orange orchards. So they're famous for the. Yeah, I'm not good. I'm cool on a snake. I don't give a dang what kind of snake it is. A garden snake, which they say is I'm good. I'll mess with snakes. You can have it because I can't tell the difference. I don't know. I'm good on snakes, scorpions. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And I don't catch lizards now. I'm grown, but I don't let them. The lizards don't bother me. I just talk to them. I'll be like, yeah. And then I got them trained sometimes. As last time the little family that was here, I got them trained. So as soon as they heard me open the back gate, they would scatter from the back door. But for whatever reason, they like the door that I come in through the back. I ain't playing with no garden snake. That's like people got snakes for pets. There's a chick on here. She's real popular. Well, she was popular back in the day. I think her name was Janelle, and she did the van life thing. Real popular. Very, very pretty girl. And she had her pet snake. What the hell was that snake name? I forgot the name of the pet snake. She got this pet snake. Child bye. And she opened up her video with that video. I'm like, I'm so cool on you. God bless her. I don't understand the whole snake relationship. I'm good. But I also had a friend of mine, her sister had it's that big lizard, and they can make them pets. Huge. I forgot what it is. They got that bad boy stuffed when he died. And I forgot what his name was. He was huge. And I was like, I don't understand the purpose of it. I don't understand the purpose of a lizard that big, and I don't want a lizard like that. I need a Cocker Spaniel, a Shar-Pei, a dog. I can't. I don't understand that. That's weird to me. So yeah, I don't want no reptiles. Although there's people who have hamsters. I'm good. I don't want no hamster either. Yeah. I'm good. Good. Now, I'm allergic to cats. But cats like me. I can't even explain it. They really do like me. I'm allergic to cats, and I'm not a fan of cats. I'll be honest. However, I don't hate them. They're just not my thing. My issue is when you bring a cat in the house, they jump up on countertops, and a lot of times I see cats on the kitchen. I can't. Although there's people don't want dogs in the kitchen, and I know my dogs will follow me in the kitchen, and I'd be like, "Here's a carrot," and here's something to eat off of. So we all have our animal thing, like black people back in the day. Well, y'all be kissing. I see white folks kissing on dogs. Yeah, I kissed my dog on her head. I did. I'd get kissed a little head, and you let them lick you. It didn't bother me, but that's because they become your fur baby. And what you say you won't do, and folks, so it's just like cat people, the cats on the countertop, that's y'all thing, it's not my thing. That's just my thing. I can't do the cats on the countertop. And they be jumping on stuff, and it bothers me. And they got too much shedding. They shed too much hair. I can't do the shedding of the hair. That's why I wouldn't want a dog who sheds a lot. Wendy, a friend of mine, said she trained her cats not to get on the countertop. I've actually had two friends. Matter of fact, one of them, her cat was called Houston, and that was the funniest thing. She's a heavy set. What was she? Panama, like she's black Panamanian or whatever. And her name was Geneve, and she's like Houston, and she had a very deep voice, heavy set black lady. Houston, if you don't get your she talked to that cat like it was a black child, and he would talk back and get down. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, you got outdoor cats. Okay. I dropped Linda off and she got a tribe in her backyard. I said, you feeding them, huh? She's like, yeah. She said, and the mama cat got the nerve to be hissing at me from time to time. And then she tried to come up and talk to me. Linda's so funny. I love Linda. I gave her some gum yesterday. I had some gum in the car, some Mento, I think it is, gum, whatever it is. It was really strong because I like a really strong minty gum. And Linda like, I can feel my sinus with this gum. So yeah, by the time we got done, we hooked up about midday. I got a natural thing for him. I know you can train him. I see a guy, he's on van life, and he walks his cat on a leash. I was like, is this dude what? He didn't train the cat on a leash. I mean, any animal I think is trainable to a degree. If people want to train them. But I'm not, yeah, cats. But my biggest thing is I'm allergic. So the biggest problem with me and a cat, because I probably do well with a cat, because they go to the bathroom, you just scoop every so often and throw it out. It's easier than house training a dog. So I will say that part about cats is cool. Yeah, that's that part I can. Did you say a friend? Now, Wendy, you need to read how you wrote that. You said the way I know what you probably meant, but you said a friend of mine walks her husband on a leash. Did she train her husband on a leash? Wendy, you should read how you wrote that, homie. That is hilarious. You said a friend of mine walks her husband on a leash. That's hilarious. And I think what you really meant is that the husband walks the animal on a leash. I realize, but I know if you see how you wrote that, that's hilarious. It's absolutely funny. I was answering Tanya's question. School is good. I'm finishing up a class tonight. I start another class. We're getting ready to get into the Gospels and Acts. But the class I'm in right now is a ministerial communications class. Thoroughly enjoying it. Okay. Yeah. I got what you meant, but it was funny to me. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying my ministerial class. This is my last night tonight. So I got to go in and finish it out. Make sure I get everything done tonight because it's the last night. I know it was funny. That was funny, Wendy. No, our temperature, we had to be 100 something today. So I got up, and I got up kind of late. Linda and I were out a little bit. We went to Olive Garden for kind of dinner, lunch, late lunch. Then we went to the grocery store. She was looking for ice cream for her daughter, and her daughter has some stomach issues. I don't know all the details with the whole stomach issues, but all of a sudden she can't eat certain things, and it really messed up her stomach. So she was trying to get the Lactaid because she's totally lactose intolerant. Like me, I'm lactose intolerant too. But I still eat ice cream, but I have to be at home because if I eat ice cream is like me taking X-Lax. If I need a good cleanse, all I need to do is eat me some ice cream, and I'm gonna be cleansed. I just need to be home or near a toilet. Um, I still do cheese on occasion. It's gonna give me gas. So cheese gives me gas, can constipate me if I have too much of it. Ice cream is like a laxative. If I drink regular milk, which I don't even really like regular milk anymore. But if I try to do regular milk, that's also going to it's going to irritate my stomach. I'm going to have gas. The only dairy that I can jack with normally is yogurt and feta. But feta, apparently, however it's made, people with lactose issues don't have problems. So, yeah, those are the ones. But yogurt doesn't bother me. I think it's because it's rotten milk. I think it's whatever's in yogurt, which is kind of like rotten milk, is how they make yogurt. The probiotics, I think, help. So, but yeah, so I gotta get out there and work on the garden part, which I haven't done. So my garden is very late. So like I said, I bought some plants. Like I said, I bought the mint. I bought a rosemary plant, and I bought a pepper plant. And then I'm trying to work on the apartment because my friend who's a flight attendant, we talk, and I really miss her. I haven't seen her since my 40s. We've talked on the phone. She's one of my beneficiaries, sweetheart. We used to work together at the bank. And then she left the bank and became a flight attendant. That's been what she's been doing. Some people find their fit in life, and she found hers. And so she'll retire. And then she called me to help her with, I'm like, I'm not even with you calling me to help you with financial stuff. She's like, but you know your stuff. So, and she says, and you will research anything, which is true. It's very true about me. That's the analytical part. And so she told me about the company, researched that. It's a solid company, been around over 100 and some odd years. It's an insurance company. Had never heard of them, but when I went and researched them, they were in Forbes. And I mean, you're not going to know every insurance in 100 some odd years. And they're moving her out of her annuity, which her ex-husband put her into a IRA. I think it was a Roth we talked about. So I had got up in the middle of the night, and then I hadn't talked to her in a while. And she said, I want to come. I said, I miss you too. So I got to get her back out here, but I need to get a day bed, which I'm going to put over by the window over here. But I got to go through the madness and get the stuff out of here, of the bins and the boxes, which are about to go. And I told her, let me get the section that I still got stacked up over here, get the stuff over to Goodwill. And then I got to get the day bed in here and get her ready for when she comes. So she'll come out. And then also I want to make sure how I'm going to schedule whatever my off time, which isn't bad because I have weekends off, but I don't know. Joe could come get her. She go hang out with Joe if she wants. Because Joe loves her too. The car is good. I need to get a tune-up. I haven't done the tune-up, and I haven't done, so actually there's a lot of maintenance. I think I told y'all I had that big maintenance list. It needs a tune-up, which I kind of had a feeling it was going to need. It needs there's two things that I want to get done ASAP, but they're the priciest things. One is the replacement of the serpentine belt, which is recommended, which I know, because even when I had, back in the day when I had my old VWs, you had a serpentine, there's a point where all your belts should be replaced, but serpentine belt is a big one. And then I also want to get the tune-up done, so I need to do that. Somebody help me. When did the tune-up start being $300? I was like, I had cars in the past. I ain't never paid over $200 for a tune-up. Matter of fact, last tune-up I remember ever doing was like $150. So I was like, when in the Sam Double L hockey sticks turning to $200? I need to understand. Y'all keep seeing me do this. It's because I set an alarm to remember to come in here and I didn't click it off. So it keeps coming back as a reminder. Yeah, I can't do the tune up. So I'm waiting for another coupon because they give you like 10-15% off, and I'm gonna take the coupon and go up there. And there are certain things I only want the dealership doing. So the serpentine belt, I've called around on the tune-up. So I called one shop. They were more expensive than the dealership. On the tune-up, I'm like, well, I guess it's going to the dealership for the tune-up. I'm gonna call Jiffy Lube and see, because a tune-up is so basic. What in the hell? It's some spark plugs and some plugs. And it's not a distributor cap anymore. He told me it was something else on the type of car. It's not a distributor cap on the type of car I have. It's something else. But it is still the plugs, or what we call the wires plugs, and the spark plug, or the spark plugs, and then the wires. And then some kind of, I think he called it a boot, some kind of boot. I don't know. So it's a little different because of the technology. But I'm like, my dude, it's some spark plugs. It's some wires. And whatever this boot is, that shouldn't take you half an hour to an hour. The hell? And he was more expensive than, they were like 300 and something. I was like, I'm good. Now the serpentine belt, they were cheaper on the serpentine belt. But there's, like I said, there's a couple things that I always like. I kind of like, I'm leaning towards the dealership because this car still has a little bit of warranty on it. And then with the whole theft thing, I think they did an extension of the warranties. I have no idea. I need to write to them because personally, when I'm paying in insurance, I can't even get insured at the company I'm at because of that whole TikTok theft boy thing. Major insurance companies won't insure the car because of that. Even with the software update for the anti-theft and because of the idiot kids. But the car itself, I still like the little car. It's just a cute little car. And being old, it's easier to get in and out of. I'm not sitting on the ground. When it's cool, I like to open up that little panoramic roof. And I just do the gap. I don't open it where all the bugs and stuff come in. But even though it has a bug screen, well, it's kind of weird. It's not a bug screen all across. But open the gap. But right now it's hot. And we black, so we not trying to tan. So we just keep that screen thing closed. But I love it. I love the fact I got AC. The AC is wonderful. But like I said, it's due for its tune-up. So the next move is actually the tune-up getting done. Then I need to do the oil change. Not the oil change, the serpentine belt. And then everything else is going to go through Jiffy Lube because Jiffy Lube is way cheaper. Although the dealership guy told me to call him and he would try to compete if I was able to get it done cheaper. So we'll see. But yeah, my next thing is going to be that tune-up. And then I haven't done a road test yet. Like, I take it around town. But there is a Mexican restaurant in Tucson that a Native American friend of mine from an old church I went to, and she posted it on her Facebook page. And it's talking to me. And Linda and my friend Regina, they both like Mexican food. So I told them I want to do a road trip. I told Joe about it, but Joe, I love him. He wants to do the Range Rover because everything's about that car, right? That's his. Joe is the old man who's doing the young man things. These are the young dreams that he had when he came into the money. You know, that's the car of his dreams or whatever. So it's all about that and that status thing, that guy thing. It's like the old man who gets the Porsche or and you be looking at him struggling to get in and out of it. And initially he had a little sports car that he had gotten from his sister who passed, who had the money. And I didn't say nothing. I was quiet because I had a sports car in my 20s. Now, it wasn't what he had, but it was a little sports car. It was Carmageddon. And I know it sat on the ground. It was fun for a minute. But getting in and out of the ground, and especially the older we get, child, bye. Bye, and more bye. So that car lasted only for a minute. He's like, well, it started being parked more. Really? Why was that, Joe? Well, Shannon, I couldn't take anybody around in it really. And then it started getting hard to get in and out of. Right. Because it's a sports car. That's for some young dude, not for you. So then he got the Range Rover because it's a showy thing and it's a status thing. And, I'm good. Me, I just want to take little man Hulk because I just like to drive. And I can drive my little man Hulk. And Linda and Regina, they don't really. Like Regina, when she got her, she said, nice car, Joe. And then we started talking about something else. She didn't, because she's not fazed by that. We we working. We done been up, down, in between, over and under. Matter of fact, Regina liked Old Man Red. She like, you got a big body. I'm like, what the hell's a big body? I'm a big body. She done with the car. I guess in the hood. She's like, I like big bodies. I'm like, Old Man Red. He's just as raggedy as he want to be. But that old classic car, I got what she's saying. She likes the old classic, like some people like the old classic Chevys and the old classic old Cadillacs, the boats like my grandfather had. Not my thing, but some people, that's their thing. So everybody got their own style and preference. Do you, boo boo? But it's not about, for me, it's not, for me, it's just the fun of driving. I like to drive. Now, my dream car is a truck, not even a car. Mine would be a diesel truck, and I don't think Toyota has a diesel. I think Nissan does. Nissan or Honda. One of the two has a diesel. I think it's Nissan. I want a diesel truck. I think, and I know Ram has one, but I want a foreign one. I want a big diesel truck. That's me. Give me a diesel truck. I'm good. That would be my dream vehicle. And those trucks are high as hell now. I mean, because some of them is the price of a house. I'm like, because I thought maybe 60,000. My friend said, Shannon, what you described like $100,000 vehicle. A truck? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Me and little man Hulk will be just fine. I'm cheap as hell when it comes to certain things. I was shocked at the price tag for little man Hulk. I was like, when? Like I said, when I need to know when a tune-up became $300. I'm offended. I'm offended. Somebody asked me something else. So cars, good. We talked about cats, schoolwork. I asked y'all a question. Because I had something on my mind. I watched it. So this Sean Combs thing, ladies, because it's mainly ladies in here. I know everybody saw the video. If you didn't see the video, I don't know where you've been. Now, I watched, and it's not that I'm caught up. Linda, she really into it. And so it's not that I'm caught up. It's not that I'm even shocked by it. I'm not shocked by any of what has transpired. I think some people, they see people in positions of money. That's like Bill Cosby. So I had one friend of mine, and a friend or associate, she made a comment which actually pissed me off. But when all the women started coming out the woodwork, her thing was like, why they coming out now? And first she was defending him. I was like, sweetheart, first of all, you don't know that man. You see an actor on TV. You don't know nothing about that individual behind the scenes. All that glitters is not gold. And you don't know, just because somebody presents something, you don't know who the hell they are. You meet me, you come in this house, you may see 2 different people. You may see 3 different people. We all know a side of everybody. Like when my father, for example, told me about my grandmother stabbing his daddy in the leg. I think near broke my neck. I was like, what the hell? Who are you talking about? Because I knew the Christian lady who folks treated sometimes like crap, who was just as humble and quiet and would pray. And I didn't know this other woman that stabbed his daddy in the leg. I didn't know her. I don't know who the hell that is. I don't know her. I know the lady who prayed until she falls asleep in her Bible while I'm laying in the bed. I know that lady. I don't know the stab in the leg lady. I don't know who that is. So we all have a different side, okay? Or a person that might have existed a while back. Tanya, so let me, and I'm gonna come from this from an abuse child victim, okay? From somebody who's a sexual abuse survivor, so to speak. And how can I put this? Because there was something that came up in a video interview I saw with Don Lemon the other day. And it kind of, at first I was like, well, then that, because we can have a certain attitude about something, but at the same time, Don Lemon made a good point, and I also had to catch my own view and analyze it about something. And I'm going to come to this. And money was part of it. So keep that, because that's actually good. My associate, when the Cosby thing came out, she was like, well, they done waited all these years, you know. Wendy, I'm going on. Wendy, we're right here. I'm coming there, girl. I'm coming. Hang in there, y'all. Hang in there. So when the Cosby situation happened, my associate had made the statement, which really pissed me off. And she said, well, why are all these women coming forward now? And she was really, as a woman, putting down other women for coming forward now at this late stage in addressing the Cosby issue. We're going to use that. So just pin it. You guys know Biles. What's her name? I think it's Simone Biles, the gymnast. And y'all remember the doctor who was the predator who was examining them for the, and I may be saying her name wrong, for the Olympics. And several of them started coming forward about the sexual abuses from that perverted behind man, okay? Simone, I think her name is Simone Biles. And God bless. I hate if I'm mispronouncing the baby's name. She's gifted. I remember watching something on her, and I'm using examples because I'm building to something. And I remember watching when they said, you know, they asked her, and she initially was like, no, everything's okay. You know, nothing happened. And something did happen. And to what severity, I don't know, but it was severe enough for her. It was an emotional situation that had not, a trauma that not had been dealt with. And when she did deal with it, she dealt with it. And a lot of times, because these people are in the public light, dealing with it is even, I can't even imagine dealing with that in such a public forum, okay? Now, here I am, a 55-year-old Black woman in Arizona, and I have a childhood trauma from the pervy stepfather. And I have some other stuff too. I've had an attempted rape as well when I was 13, okay? And I've had some other stuff. But I have that from my childhood, okay? Sexual abuse stuff is embarrassing. You feel weak. It's a trauma. You may not have dealt with it all emotionally. You don't know all of what was levied against that person during that situation. And so for us to say a payment makes you so you should sit in a corner and keep your dang mouth shut, no. Mm-mm. Because the pervert is still getting away with his stuff, his or her stuff, because there could be chicks too. And the person who wronged you is still at large. Now, I'm from the Christian standpoint that there's some spiritual things behind that as well. But I don't think that money satisfies the problem. And sometimes the payment that they took, they either later may regret, and or later you realize it's not fixing my issues. Because when a sexual trauma happens, it's deep. It's a deep-seated issue. I still know to this day. It's still a deep-seated issue. Am I pissed? Yes. And then for those who might have been around who knew about it, everybody, this thing with Diddy, everybody had, there's people around him that knew this craziness was going on. This ain't new for him. Excuse me, y'all, I'm dry. This ain't new for him. Everybody knew this was going on. The same way with Cosby. There are people who are so perverse and they got the right kind of money. So, and also you may feel alone. You may feel totally abandoned and alone. I see it differently. I see it as you may, some people may have taken the money and some, you like you said, some didn't. But also once everybody starts coming forward, so like this thing with old girl, she took that money from Diddy. But her situation, and it's very, everything is, this is a chess game right now. To me, it is not, the government is playing a game, and not, and they're gonna play to win. They're gonna win this one. It's a chess game, and y'all forgive me. It is, that sun is right here. It's my, the light comes in right here, y'all forgive me. Um, it's a chess game right now. And I'm gonna be honest, the government is gonna win this chess game. Correct. And Wendy, that's exact, Wendy's on it right here. So some stuff, like there is a portion of my childhood I don't remember. So I don't know if some kids can remember their childhood usually from the age of 5 going forward. I don't remember my childhood. I remember pieces of my child after the age of 7. There's a portion of my childhood I don't remember, and there's a portion of my childhood where I was not here in Arizona. I was in Columbus for like a year. Only way I remember parts of it is I got some pictures from my mother from when I was on a plane going to Ohio to stay with my great aunt and uncle, and I don't know why. And I would not be shocked if some other stuff didn't happen because my mom had issues. My mom was very, what I realized about my mother is she was very low self-esteem. I think she wanted a male to make her feel um, as if she was a woman. I also know, from what she said one time to me, she also was a molest victim from somebody outside of a church. I don't know all the details about that. I know she said my grandfather was late picking him up. She was molested by someone outside of the church. I don't know all the details. I think that that opened up some things for her. I also know that the way she was treated in the household, being the basically the not favorite child, the favorite child of my grandparents was my aunt, and my mother was not favorite at all. She's also a fat child, so she had a lot of negative stuff going on. And I remember my grandmother, her mother, I remember now that I look back, she did things to try to make her mother. Um, but when I look at the situation, I think we need to be very careful. And y'all, I'm sorry about the light. Hold on. Let's see. It'll go the sun. And it doesn't matter, it's that window. I got my new newspaper here. Um, she she was the not favorite child. And so this is where some of my mercy came in with her because I had to step back and realize how broken she was. And she's jacked. I still think she's crazy as hell. And I'll leave that to God, and God forgive her and have mercy on her. And I'm sorry for what she went through. Um, when I realized things about Grumpy's childhood. So we all have different traumas, but sexual traumas are hard. They're really, really hard. And I don't care whether you're an adult or a child. Um, but I really think even women who are raped are women. I have an associate of mine who was a grown woman. She went for a gynecology appointment. Her doctor did something inappropriate in the appointment. And when she told me, even as a grown woman, you could see the embarrassment of it. So, how people deal with that, I can't judge you on a payment. One of the people said in the Don Lemon in the comments, he said, well, that'll teach a lesson because that's for these women going after money and her being a gold digger. So you're saying that her being a gold digger justified her being stumped to the ground by this man? And at first my mind said, well, she got a point. But then I had to back up and say, no, it doesn't justify. And Don Lemon said, he said, I don't really care what people do. Nobody deserves that treatment. And there's some other treatment that per in the interview from other sources, of things he did or had done to that woman. From what almost sounds like gang rape and some other stuff. I don't know what's true, what's false. Again, there's a lot going on right now in conjunction. But right now, I'm going to say this. The Bible, I think there's, and I can't find it right now in my head, but what you do in the dark comes out in the light. So an old statement, it will come out. And what you sow, you will reap. Now that I know, it's facts. You can't continue to do this level of wickedness. And my other concern is that, the son got arrested. How much of this demonic behavior that you have did you translate down to your children? And now we have other monsters that are created out of this madness. Payoffs, I get what you're saying, that they took it. But at the same time, it still is not a justified behavior, and we need to know what monster we're dealing with. How they reconcile the payments that they took, if they felt that payment was the salve or the Band-Aid to try to resolve abuses that they've been through, that's between them, the Lord, and the other person. It's like the Stormy Daniels chick and Trump. All it is people trying to cover up their dirt. And they think the dollar will fix the problem when, if you're not willing to change your behavior. It's like that apology he did was like, I'm like, bruh, next. Nothing about that apology felt, I don't know him from a can of paint, but nothing about how that apology was handled felt genuine. Not one ounce of it. Nothing about the apology felt genuine to me. It just, I was like, next. Everything to me in that situation was next, and more next. I wasn't buying it. Again, I had to check myself, because when the woman said, oh, that's what you get as a gold digger, because some people, or some of these women and men, they go to hang out with these people and they after money, and you get lessons you don't want. The gentleman right now, I forgot who the guy is that they're using right now, who did business with him, who the federal government is using for a lot of their information. I think he said there were sexual situations with him and old boy. I'm like, woo! How much of your soul do you want to sell? But at the same time, there's a point where you wake up. That lawyer guy, what's his name? All right, the lawyer that Trump had and was using for his stuff, that just had to testify against him. I forgot his name. But, there's a point where you have to wake up. And to tell the story, let me tell this story real quick. So my play niece has a sister. And her sister was being raised by a single mom. The single mom got married to this man. Well, the man began to rape and molest the daughter. The daughter then told her aunt, which is her mama's sister. The mama's sister said, look, old boy that you with, he messing with your child. So they left the house. She left him, took her daughter, and moved in with her sister and family. I don't know what transpired, but the mama of the girl, of my play niece's sister, is a half sister. The mama went and moved back in with this pervy man. And then went and brought her daughter, who he was raping, back into the house for him to continue raping. Now, the daughter is now a stripper. I don't know what else she does. I know it's not good. And the daughter shared, and my niece asked me to talk to her story. And the daughter is still trying to have a relationship with her mama, because that's an innate thing. You want a mom, you want a dad. One of the reasons me and Monty did have a relationship, because it's an innate thing that we all have, to have a parent. But when you got a parent that's jacked up, I'm good. It's kind of like my mom. I don't hate her, but I'm good. I'm leaving in Jesus' hands. I can't anymore. I'm done. You've never apologized. If I dress you on it, you lie. I can't anymore. I'm done. I'm going to leave you in Jesus' hands. I'm going to forgive you, but I'm good. I'm done. God bless this young lady. She's trying to have a relationship with her mom, and she says, why did you take me back into that situation? Because he just kept repeating the rapes. He was locking the door and screwing this little girl all the way up until she was out the house. And the woman knew about it. Well, now this man is a minister. And I know that law enforcement in Atlanta, but it's past what they can do now. And they were investigating him based on what she put on social media. And because they can't pursue what happened to her, but their concerns are any victims he's had after the fact, okay? Her mama says, well, God forgives, so should you. Yo, and I, it take all I have because I am Christian. But there is an accountability to the mother to protect her child. When I had told Monty about the things with the pervy stepfather, my brother's father, my half-brother's father's that here in Arizona, Monty, this is Monty, well, had you told my mother's father, my grandfather, I was, favorite grandchild, had you told your grandfather, he would have killed Tony. That's my stepfather's name. I'm like, hold, pump the brakes, homie. It's not my grandfather's job to defend your child and Francis's child. That is it was your two jobs. You two are at fault for not doing that. And you need to deal with that before the Lord. I'm going to forgive you for it, but y'all need to deal with y'all stuff. And you need to come forward and handle your stuff. And you should apologize. But again, we're talking to Monty, a Grumpy, who wasn't a parent, who it was all about him. He didn't really give a dang about his children. He had no accountability of being a father, so he didn't see that. He didn't care. He didn't care. I may have another sister who's being raised by somebody's uncle. I said, and I told him, I was like, I said, that don't sound right. And I said, you ain't gonna try to find out. He didn't care. I said, all from him trying to deal with that alarm. Sorry about that. All manner of things could be happening with that young girl. And he didn't care. Why he didn't care? There is damages and people who are just jacked up human beings. That's just honesty. What I saw with old boy, he crazy as a box of rocks and got some massive demons on board. The way he kicked and stumped that baby, no, you got some massive demons on board. Something's wrong with you. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it's PJ or who it was who had me watch that video of that girl in Mexico. And them people killed that girl. And you watched how her supposed friends or associates beat the hell out of her. Something wrong. For you to be that kind of individual, something the hell is wrong with you. You got some massive demons on board. There's something wrong. Very wrong. And what we saw on how he kicking that woman, and no, something is wrong. So I can't justify that, they took money. That money might have been for counseling, to say, I don't, the level of trauma they went through. And also sometimes think about if you've ever worked for corporations who did you wrong, especially as black women, because it's mainly us black women on here, or even a woman. And you had a corporation that did you wrong, and you didn't have the money to go and fight them the way you should be able to. Or you are able to prove it. Maybe you go through the EEOC, but you can only settle for so much. One of the companies I worked for, I didn't have a settlement, but there was a gentleman when I researched, because I was like, something ain't right with this company, because I had never worked for a company with the level of racism that was as blatant as they did. And when I researched them in, I forgot, one southern state, they had an African-American man. He was a manager, and one of his employees kept calling him the N-word. He'd taken it all the way to HR, taken it up to his management, and they termed him. He then went to the EEOC. Well, whatever the way he came in under the agreements he had with this company, he only could get a settlement of I think it was a year or maybe 2 years salary. That's it. So he took the money because he didn't have the financial backing to go and take on a company of this size. So when you're dealing with that, we have to be careful looking at the shoes in which somebody's in, because how do you prove it? How do you stand up against it? And sometimes the only way you can even get any justice in what might be justice may be $1, even though it's really not justice. It may be $1. I do claims right now, right? Somebody hit somebody's car, and I had to use this example because I had a guy tell me, I'm gonna fight this, da-da-da-da-da. Bruh, you told me you're at fault for this accident, okay? Basically, I'm gonna fight it even though I did something wrong. So I said, let me give you an example of something. So I use a very general example. You're driving down the street, I'm driving in my car. I spill my coffee. I hit my brakes. The light is green. Go to bend down, get the coffee. You rearing me. Whose fault is that accident? Is it yours or is it mine? Now, I stop on a green light. Clear to go because I spilled my coffee or whatever. You rear end me. That accident is your fault. Now, that's not the situation he had, but what I'm trying to tell him is we're gonna look at this situation in the manner it is, and we're gonna settle it as best we can. But you at fault. Even though the old boy is at fault and something is wrong with him and he's crazy, I may not I might not be in the situation to where I can do anything other than I might not be able to get an attorney to deal with you on the level that I should, or to expose you on the level I should. So maybe the only way to get back at you, and I hate to say because it is kind of that when they're taking the money, is to take the money, but also the money is meant to get me the help that I need because I'm so messed up from what you did to me. And I may not have any of those. My niece, her sister, that's her only mama. And while for me, you need to be done with your mama, this girl is still trying to have a relationship because that's her mama. A foul, jacked up mama who chose some penis over her child and used her child to keep the penis in the house. I can't even call him a man. That's what that was. You wanted something that had a penis that was a grown male, to say you had a grown male, to keep him in the house, and you brought your child back in there who is what he really wanted because he's sick and twisted. And then later you fix your lips because he's claiming, I praise God if he truly did get delivered and saved. But has he gone back to that baby and repented for his perversion? And normally them kind of folks, and I ain't gonna say all the time, I'm highly doubtful. I pray you got it right. I pray you change. But that's a little demon that is something a little bit different. And I don't know that I believe that when you have pedophiles that they really change. I don't. Shaquilla Robinson. Okay. Oh, is that the girl? I think that's the girl. I can't remember the name of the girl. It was in Mexico somewhere and they killed a baby. That might be her. But you see that, and like I said, the thing that got me is when a person said, "Well, he's a gold," that's what these gold diggers deserve. Or it teaches a. I think they said something like it teaches a lesson, something to that extent about gold. No, that doesn't justify that behavior. It doesn't justify that baby getting beat like that. It doesn't justify whatever other abuses that poor baby went through. Granted, yeah, maybe you learn that all the glitters ain't gold. I'm sure people got around Cosby back in the day, thought he was a cool guy, and I'm gonna be around him, Weinstein, and all these other ones, and all of a sudden you realize, ooh, all the glitter ain't gold. And yes, some people put these. That's why I always say all the glitter ain't gold. So it's a warning for those before you end up in that situation. But once you're in that situation, abuse doesn't justify. It doesn't justify because you chose to be hanging out with old boy that, oh, it's okay for you to. No, that's not justified. It's not justified. And so I look at it and like my friend, she's like, well, all these women are coming forth now, and her thing was she was defending him. It's just like when the R. Kelly thing before that happened. So for those of you who may know, there was video of another situation before this last time he got put in. It was like early on, I think right when the first accusation would come out years before, and there was a pornographic video of him with, I think, a girl who was like 13 something years old. My same associate who's defending Cosby, she saw it and her statement was, well, it looked like the little girl knew what she was doing. Whoa! What the hell's wrong with you? And you're a female? I don't care if that girl had sex with 5,000 males. That's a grown behind male messing with a child. What the hell is wrong with you? And there's women who are, I'm like, this is the same one I used to split the membership with. I was like, yeah, we got to cut it off. I can't. There's just certain things now. She's an associate, but her thought process is different. And I was like, whoa. And when she defended Cosby, I'm like, oh. And then the statement, I was like, it just built too much for me. But again, you're somebody who probably has never had a sexual trauma. You've never been a molest victim or an incest victim or a rape victim. And the other thing is, some of that promiscuous behavior at 13 is probably tied to something from that child having sexual introductions at a young age. Because promiscuity usually if you're underage, is usually caused by sexual stuff that happened at a young age. Next, what I saw was deplorable. And that's somebody who's a control freak. That's somebody who's a manipulator. That's somebody who I can do whatever the hell I want. And that's somebody who sees, and in my opinion, they probably see a female at a certain level, which is not human. Because for you to do that, you can't see her as a woman or anything of value. And that speaks volumes, but more volume to me is the people who are around it and who knew. And I don't think he's the only one in that industry that's like that. There's probably several. We might find out some more. But the federal government, to me, like I said, they're not coming in. You're not going to raid his houses. You're not going to do all that. This is a chess game. And then and if y'all look at the chess game, these are moves. So the first federal government comes and raids houses. Then all of a sudden this video gets leaked. What you also have to understand is when you see one victim, which is what happened with Cosby, other people start bubbling to the surface. And that's what my friend didn't understand, because it's kind of what happened with Biles. You might think you're the only one, and you're embarrassed. That's Ice Machine. You're embarrassed. You feel like you're all by yourself. Nobody else has been through this. Oh no, there's usually other victims. So now that we leaked this, we're going to see who else is going to bubble to the surface. It's getting ready to be on like Donkey Kong. We're going to expose all you and your little demon crew. We're going to expose all the little demons you got going on inside of you and the ones you associate with. We're going to bring them to the surface. It's all going to bubble forth. All going to bubble forth. And you look at him right now, and you can tell he's stressed. And he don't look like he all in the ballpark. And it's okay. Like I said, and there are going to be others just like him. And all that kind of money. And I believe they're going to, some of them might be trying to cover their stuff up right now while they're going after old boy. But I won't be shocked if they start unveiling other folks, because there's other affiliations. I can almost guarantee you. You weren't having those parties and doing that, and folks, that's like the Weinstein guy, and I forgot, what's that one who's associated to Trump? And they had all the weird sexual stuff. Yeah. And if they could probably unveil more about Trump, I bet you we're going to find stuff. I think that's some of his Russian association, too. I could be wrong. Yeah. And that's what I said. There's going to be more coming out. Way more. Way more. Because now it's been unleashed and you know you're not alone. And that's the big thing. Like when I talked to my niece's, my play niece's sister, and I told my story, and I said, you're better than me, because there's a point, you got to forgive your mother, but at the same time, your mother has not apologized for putting you in that situation knowingly. She knew what when you told her what was going on, or when her sister told her what was going on, and she left, but to go keep that piece of penis, she took you back in there to keep him. She didn't give a dang about you. My biological mother lied. Oh, I never said, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Has never once apologized, because she's wrong, and she knew. You knew this pervy dude was interested. You suspected something. You didn't come to your child. You went to a family member and made a comment that a 9-year-old is having an affair with a grown but adult male. I can't even call him a man, because men don't molest children. Grown adult pervy males do. Exactly, Wendy. Point blank period. Exactly. And you're probably not the only victim, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So that's why when people try who may not have been in that type of situation, it's hard for us to judge on that level. I mean, I think you should judge that the person's been a victim. I think you should judge that there's a victimizer, and the victimizer needs to be handled. But to judge the victim in such a way. I'm in a ministry class, and one of the early ministry classes, one girl shared about, this is on the Native American tribe group, and I don't know what tribe it was. I don't even know if it's here in Arizona. It could be, because they take classes all across the country. But she's part of a Native American tribe. And they found out that the uncle, she said one of her friends, the uncle was molesting her, I guess. And certain things about the girl's schoolwork had started changing. Some other things, which are signs of abuses and other stuff. And she said that when the young girl, somebody had addressed the young girl and asked her what was going on, why was something. And then it came to light that there was an uncle who was molesting her. And they were like, why didn't you come forward? And she said she was trying to protect his children, which is amazing. Right. Yeah. And that's because you're dealing with the spiritual. So there's a spiritual stuff with that. And that person, if they're not dealing with their stuff, and you better than me, I'm not trying to help you on that level. You got to get your own help. Or you need to be locked up and get help in a jail. But when the tribe, and this is just some of the weird, strange ignorance of especially sexual abuse, they said to her, oh, you started liking it. What the hell? This is a kid. People are crazy. When the lady wrote this out in our ministerial class, I was just like blown away. But there are people who think just like that. The same way this person made the comment that, oh, this is a lesson for you to not be a gold digger. So you justified that she got beat up and whatever else abuses this woman went through as a lesson for her being a gold digger. Now, she might learn that, hey, all the glitters ain't gold. But that right there is the farthest from my mind as far as the conversation on what needs to happen. To me, whether he's rich, because there's not always rich people who abuse like that. What it should teach her is how now to hopefully identify a better quality of man opposed to grown crazy male in order to hopefully not be in this position again. That's prayerfully, and I'm not judging her by that situation because sometimes you don't know. What, like I said, sometimes you see one person and then when you get behind the doors, it's another person. My associate who made those little jacked up comments, who's a female, you meet her, you think she's probably the nicest person you ever met. Like, oh, she's really cool, she's funny, very funny. But when you start peeling back the layers and going behind the closet door, you find out, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. I mean, I still speak. We're still associates. But I don't hang with that chick no more. I cannot. And the older I got, my tolerance of crazy behind people, I can't do it. I won't do it. I will be by myself up in this crib. I'll get me a 4-legged Cocker Spaniel for company before I deal with cray-cray. Anybody. And I might be destitute and butt out because I really don't have family. All my family that had any significance to me is laying in caskets in the dirt. So all I got right now is Jesus and maybe a few friends that are as close as I can get for family. I really don't have anybody. My whole entire but my life insurance is all to friends. And if I didn't have them, I probably would have enough to put myself in the dirt and everything would go to charity. I'm all it's just me. And it is what it is. because people make their alliances, and they may align with cuckoos, and they may see. That's why when I was like, whoa. And my play niece's mom, I'm like, baby, you show better than me. Because you know, it took me back into madness for me to continue to be raped, and you made the choice to bring me back in there so you can keep the penis in the house. Yeah, we will be done. Look, my mother, I'm going to pray for you, but we're done. We don't even need to talk. I'm going to leave you in Jesus' hand, and I hope you repent. I hope you get it right, but I'm good. Because to me, that's some major opening your butt cheeks, and that tells you who was important to her, and it was not her daughter. The penis was more important to her. I'm good. I am good. And I'm not telling you that girl's full story, because it's pretty atrocious what she went through. She went through some major stuff, which is answers the question of the stripping and possibly, I'm presuming, some probably prostitution with it too. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. I could tell you stories of people I've met along my life's journey. Very broken people. I got a friend of mine right now, and I think his nephew is a molest victim, a rape victim, one of the two, by his mama's boyfriend. Because there's a situation that I was told about. I was like, oh, and that baby, but he's crazy as a box of rocks. There's a whole bunch of stuff with him, and he's special. But again, and how folks want to deal with it. And now we got a grown individual who's crazy as a box of rocks and very broken. There's a lot of damages come with it, and it's an embarrassing. It's a very silent, especially sexual traumas, is a very, especially for children, is a very, um, it's a very silent thing, and it's even now. I will say I have issues I know caused by what happened. Danielle and I had, before she passed, we had talked, and Danielle was also a sexual abuse victim. Now, her abuser was arrested, and Danielle used to get in a lot of fights because, and the counselor's like, "What's going on?" And somehow the counselor just asked the sexual question, and then Danielle's like, "I don't understand what that means." And then the lady asked more questions about being touched inappropriately and things, and Danielle came clean, and they arrested her abuser. I don't know the details from there, but I also can tell you who Danielle later became when it came to men or grown males. She didn't pick the best ones. She's a very sweet lady, give the shirt off her back. But I met her prior, the dude that was left afterwards, and I'm going to tell you, not a good choice. He was never disrespectful, but when I met him, I was like, it looked like she picked him up out of a, like a wino at a liquor store. I loved her. Yeah, she was a sweetheart. But again, those damages, and when we talked about it, they come out somehow. They'll come out, and you could maybe be an introvert like me. You could be a loner. Some people become promiscuous. Some get into alternative lifestyles. I know people who become cutters because they're trying to deal with the damages of sexual traumas. And and I know everybody's like, well, why would you call it sex? Because I believe it was a sexually abusive relationship. He's obviously having sex with her, and he's beating the hell out of her at the same time. That's an abusive relationship, and it's tied together. And she's an abuse victim, so it's a trauma. So there's the physical violence, but we don't even know about whatever sexual traumas might have been going on with that too. And I can almost guarantee you that was part of it as well. So yeah, I taking a payment. There was a payment for medical treatment. To me, it's no different from people who end up in a car accident. I deal with them every day, and they get whiplash. They need their car fixed. Well, the insurance companies only do the bare minimum to get it up to whatever, to get it running condition. But at the same time, you may be dealing with back issues and other stuff, you know. Right. And that's part of the trauma, Wendy, right there. If you guys didn't read what she said, that's part of the. She said hers ended up with her choice of men, cutting, and now being one who wants nothing to do with individuals. So when I met my sister-in-law, and I introduced him to some friends of mine. I remember this. And we were at the table, and Joe was saying how distant I was when he first met me at Schwab. And she asked me, she said, why? And I said, because I don't trust easy. When you come from a sexual abuse and abusive home, your trust factors, if you can't trust the people you're birthed from and people who are supposed to be parents to you, how in the hell are you supposed to really just come in like, oh, I just trust the stranger? No, no, hell no. We gonna have to go through something so I can see if I'm really gonna trust you. No, baby, I'm not just gonna automatically go, oh, I trust Bobby Joe. No, no. Right, right. Because your trust factor, especially if you're a child, that's even worse. When you're abused in your childhood, your trust factor goes out the window. And I can't even imagine the traumas that that woman's going to deal with going into other relationships. How do you go into another relationship? One of the reasons I'm good right now because I'm so good. Now that I understand the traumas of my childhood and I'm not good in relationships and I'm okay with that. I'm like, okay, God, I understand now because all of it's tied together. And like I said, a lot of abuse. My mother did not pick good males. Monty sucked, and my pervy stepfather sucked. You're damaged. You're gonna choose damage. Hold on. Right. That's 10 years and 7 years. Wendy would. A lot of people don't understand that, and yeah. So my prayers go out to all of it, even him. I pray that hopefully maybe he repent and get his life right. Otherwise, he gonna bust hell wide open. Um, there's other ministers like he should be under the jail. I'm not God, so I can't say that. I do believe that there should be some. So I am a very firm Christian that believes there is a sowing and reaping. I do believe that there is correctional facilities. I do believe that there is punishment and judgment because even the Bible speaks of that. That's just a common. Even God's going to judge. So I believe in all that, and I believe in there's going to be a punishment for not following the ways of God. That's just biblical. So I believe that even in this earthly realm, you gonna have to go through your stuff unless you decide to switch it up and get it right. Oh, thanks, Wendy. I appreciate you. I'm kind of real, so that's I just had to do that in my Christian group. I gotta put a video up for here later. I'm very real. I'm kind of I don't tip to my loo. I'm real. I can be courteous. I can be kind, but I'm like I had a friend who invited me over this weekend. I think it was yesterday. His family, we were doing a little get together, but I love him dearly. But I went by there the last time, and the nephew done walked out with the weed bong, and that's how I am 55, you're maybe 56 in June. I'm not into that, and to me that's disrespectful in your house as the uncle for the nephew to come. No, 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 and hell no. That's not my thing. So I'm that might be y'all family dynamics, not my family dynamics. I don't even deal with my family, so I dang sure ain't gonna deal with the weirdness of yours. So I decided that it was not in my best interest, and thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, I don't hold punches. I kind of say what I think, and that's sometimes not everybody cup of tea. It isn't. It isn't. I try to be courteous, but at the same time, especially when it comes to Christian stuff, I'm very forthright because I think we got a lot of people that are sugarcoating stuff, and they're gonna sugarcoat folks right in the hell. Unfortunately, not how I roll. All right, we had 103 minutes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was gonna talk to y'all about today. That is it. Real quick, what everybody cooking? I'm gonna get out here on this grill. I think I'll make a steak tonight, and I'm in the mood for a baked potato with some sour cream. I got some fresh corn. I'm gonna do that. They had corn on sale over here at Safeway. What was it, 8 for $2? But I got corn in there. I only got 2 fresh ears. I got some other corn I need to use for some other stuff. Tuna tonight? Okay. What I have? I actually had chicken salad for breakfast, a chicken salad sandwich. We went to Sam's Club and they got it's not as good as the original chicken salad you used to get at Costco. Costco had this pecan cranberry chicken salad, and they used to have these little pretzel rolls, and they don't carry it anymore. It was bomb, and they don't carry it anymore. But Sam's Club has a version of it. They don't have the pretzel rolls, but they had a version of the chicken salad. It's good. It's not the Costco one, but it's good. Yeah. Tuna, I like a good tuna salad. I prefer chicken salad over tuna salad, but I do like good tuna salad. Famous Dave's. I haven't been to Famous Dave's in a while. Okay, they pretty decent. I haven't been to. So you got ribs. What else you have with the ribs? You doing some potato salad? What you doing? Because you got to have more than just some ribs. So I'm going to make y'all laugh real quick. So I have a deep freezer because like I told y'all, I started really, I can shop for myself. I don't, only thing I need to go to the grocery store is fresh vegetables. And if I get my little, ooh, greens. I like greens, Tanya. What's your favorite greens? Mine's are collards. Tell me what your favorite greens are. I love collards. I will eat, because usually be, when you make greens, it had all of the above. But, oh, you're doing the keto. Okay. Okay, I like greens. So you do know I'm on a blood thinner, and I can't. Yeah, because collards is the meaty green. I like collards because collard is the meaty green. It's. Oh, you like collards too? Wendy, collards is your friend. So collards to me is the green that is you just gonna get the most substance from. I know I've had mustards, turnips, but collards is always the green. And I remember my grandmother used to cut the turnips in there. I wasn't a really big fan of turnips in my greens. But who has made me like turnips was Asians. I forgot where I was at. I went to Dim Sum back in the day in Mesa. And they had this place that came around with the little plates. And the Asian folks have a turnip that they did. Life changing. So I would do it that way. But I grew up and I didn't like turnips initially in my greens. But the root part. So you would do the green part and the turnip. But my favorite green is collards. I like the thickness of a collard, but I'll eat greens in general. But I can't have greens all the time now because of the blood thinner. So every blue moon, I'll have greens, but I know that if I have greens, it's going to totally mess up my blood thin medicine. If any of you guys know about Ozempic, put comments down below, whoever watches this later on, and tell me what your thoughts are. I'm researching it because I might go that route. If anybody knows about statins. So statins is usually for cholesterol. I do not have high cholesterol. Come on. He wants to do that as a protection. I was like, protection from what? I don't have high cholesterol, homie. I know I'm older, but I'm already on a blood thinner. Yeah, I'm hearing like some people are saying like their stomach gets paralyzed and stuff like that. That's one of the things I was concerned about as well, because it does some of the side effects. And I also researched that it could also cause issues with your thyroid. So yeah, I'm praying on it. I get the point because a lot of people are going to it, but I get the point. Let me see. But y'all have a blessed day. I'm off tomorrow. I don't know how many y'all, if y'all are off. I know Wendy, you're at home. Yeah, unless I have high cholesterol, I don't see why you're putting me on a statin. I don't have high cholesterol. He even said he says your blood tests are well maintained. I'm fat as hell, y'all, and even my diabetes, I think I was 6.3. My A1C, it's pretty good. Right now, I do have and I did get a placard. So I do have now, he did get me a permanent handicap placard. I got to get a placard holder, which I'm going to order this payday coming up. But I did get my handicap papper. I got that. I still have to talk to them because usually when I get to work, when I do have to be in office, there are no handicap. But they got 5,000 of the reserve spots. So I'm going to talk to them because either if I got to come in the office, we need to give me a reserve spot. I can't. I can't. I can't because it's craziness. Y'all love collards. Now you got me wanting collards. And I haven't had any good greens. I got a craving for catfish too. What I did, we have a company out here called Bash's, and they had the colossal shrimp, look like a C from my hand. So I bought those. I might tomorrow do I'm thinking about doing like some shrimp and grits or some shrimp and creamy rice. I haven't decided which one. And because I don't know, I think I got grits. I got to see if I got grits. And then tonight I might put some of the shrimp on the grill. The thing is, I don't have wood. I need to go get wood because right now I'm using charcoal. And it's weird because I realize I'm spoiled. I like wood. And I can taste the charcoal. And I'm not a fan of it. I hate propane because propane to me dries out meat and I don't like the flavor. It has a flavor to it. Salt never been an issue for me either. I do have high blood pressure, but not really high. So none of that. I do. I do get salt cravings with lemon. Like I get a sour salt thing. So I like lemon or pickles or olives. Like I've been doing olives. I like the brine. I like that salty vinegary. But yeah, not to the other stuff. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, because it is getting dark. I'm gonna go out here and start my grill so I can grill my steak. And what I was telling y'all is I'm sitting up here, I was like, well, do I want to go to the steakhouse? And y'all, I got two whole prime, probably 2.5 whole prime, well, two whole prime ribs and a half a prime rib in my refrigerator. And a good steak is a prime. If you do a ribeye, that's a prime predator prime rib, right? So in my freezer. So I was like, Shannon, go on, lift it. Because I have the crock pot sitting on top of the freezer. Go on and go in there and dig in there and find a ribeye. So I found a 2-bone prime rib, and I took the ribeye, cut them in half, well, prime rib, and that makes a ribeye, and cut off 2 steaks. So one of them's in the freezer right now for later, and then one's sitting in my seasoning marinade, and he's going to go on the grill. And then I'll put some corn out there. So I'm going to get ready to go out there, start the fire. And then tomorrow, I may get up and do laundry. I haven't done laundry. I've been procrastinating. I hate doing laundry. But I kind of waited because I figure tomorrow won't be nobody at the laundromat. Plus, it's a Monday. If I can go in the morning, I'm off tomorrow. So I had a 4-day, but I really have just really rested. I couldn't believe how tired I was. And it's been, I don't know if they testing us or what, because I done had some calls. I'm like, I feel like this MTV punked up in my house. Because y'all, this ain't normal. I'm like, just some weird calls. It felt like they were test calls. And that's, like either trying to push the buttons or come up with weird questions and almost like they're testing you. I'm like, are you testing me? Because that's what I felt like, because it was just so unusual. But I don't know. And companies do that sometimes. So it's like, okay, if you don't stop, just stop. But then, because I'm trying to dig in my head and figure stuff out. And anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed next weekend. Peace. Unless I do something tomorrow. Depends on how I feel. Peace.